Robert Smith, do the right thing. Sort Gary Sykes' belt out and put it in history books that he's British champion outright at super featherweight. And I'll leave you alone, Robert Smith. Alright? Don't you forget. Well, I'll sit there then, before I sit down. So we're here today at Nick Manners' gym in, what area is it called?
This area, it's Rosal Road. Would you say Roundy Road, Rosal Road, Roundy? How would you put it?
Road.
We didn't have enough time, aren't we?
This is
Colin. Town, yeah.
This is Colin Manners, isn't it?
That's correct.
The brother of Nicholas Manners, and the other one's Rick Manners. Where's he today?
He's on vacation.
He's on vacation, is he? Right,
No white man can put on my blood clot hat. Come. Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Carry on.
where do we think boxing's heading at the moment?
Dear.
The quality of the shows and that.
Porky, I'm sorry. I'll come in now. That is not what we came here for. I'll tell you what we came here for.
I told you
Sorry about this, Julian, but I have to be, listen, I'll control the narrative.
Go on then.
Watch. The esteemed Julian McGowan, who I've got a lot of respect for, and a lot of time for,
Oh yeah.
who's helping Max, okay, on his development. So what's happened is, Max and Julian have asked if they could use this facility. And I'll tell you what it is, I'm more than honoured to have him down here coaching. I'll tell you it is, and I appreciate that. So I'm not really bothered about the state of boxing, because the state of boxing is in here. How did you feel the state of boxing was, the quality of boxing on display today, Porky?
I thought it was alright, mate. You know,
Right,
you got
then,
a
so
good
that's where boxing is at the moment.
Yeah.
Carry on.
I thought I think the gym's alright since the last come.
Carry on.
How are you anyway, Nick? Are you alright? In your Jamie Foxx, the Django art?
This is some blood clot Django business. Alright? Carry on.
What do you think to our Max?
Max is alright. Listen, at the end of the day, when it comes right down to it, anybody who gets in the boxing ring deserves credit.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, anybody who's prepared, how old are you, Max?
34.
You're 34. If you're 34 and you're prepared to give it a go, and you're prepared to listen to what Julian says, the only thing you can do is improve your development.
Yeah.
Just listen, and as long as you're enjoying the sport, that's what it's about. I've seen a lot worse than you on the circuit.
Now this lad that you've had Max spar, this 17-year-old kid, what's he going to do in boxing, Nick?
Who knows? Who knows? At the end of the day,
Yeah.
what he can do for the time being though is he can enjoy his boxing.
Yeah.
He can turn around and keep learning. While he's studying, he's still at college and that, and he's trying to get an education and this, that and the other. Boxing's secondary. To him, he might think it's first and foremost, but in my mind, that's secondary. Get your education. Alongside your education, keep fit. Physical development is always good for anybody. Bless you. Keeps in a clear mind, and that's all we can do. Nobody knows the future. At the end of the day, you might get a bird tomorrow. Get barred up. That's it. Never see him again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what we can do, the most we can do is the best that we can do while he's here within our presence.
What do you think about the rumours that Yard Boats is not going to happen this year?
I don't think it should happen this year. Why should it happen this year? We've got two different courses. They're both going for they're both going for individual titles, and that let them go on their own path. And hopefully, personally, I don't think either of them's ready for a world title. You know what I mean? So that's why it shouldn't happen. Let them have some more development vibes. Go forward.
Yeah.
Do you think they're ready for world titles?
No.
Right then, and that's not being disparaging. That's just turning around and saying maybe one or two more.
I always think it means which world title, doesn't it? Because I've said before, world titles can be no world title's easy to win, but there are versions of titles that are easier to win than others. It always depends who's the kind of champion incumbent, doesn't it? And if it's an elite fighter who holds the belts, you've got to take your time and kind of just your development. You know what I mean?
Well, how many of those titles are out there on those weights?
And that's the thing, light heavyweights. I mean, we've got Bibble's got. Babe's got his, and then there's
Smith got one or something.
Yeah, Smith, Joe Smith. It's kind of splintered, isn't it?
Diluted.
Yeah, so it depends who you're ready for, and that's what I always said about Anthony Joshua. He was ready for Charles Martin, but would he have ever been ready for Tyson Fury or somebody else at that level? So,
you know something? I remember when what's his name? Anthony Joshua boxed Andy Ruiz, and I thought that although it was a wake-up call, a rude wake-up call, it was actually a really good opportunity for him to turn around and say, right, there's obviously things I'm doing wrong, so let's get at it. You know what I mean? And I don't 100% know what the improvements Anthony Joshua can do in order to try and take on Usyk. What he will have to do is, in my opinion, use his best attributes, which is his strength, his aggression. I don't really feel him to be trying to outbox that fella. That fella
You have to physically control Usyk.
yeah.
It's easier said than done, isn't it?
Yeah, because that guy
As we
controls
know.
distance and this, that and the other, so is it one of them where you turn around and say, all or bust?
I think money's a massive thing though now, isn't it? Because in any world, if you looked after Joshua and he wasn't who he is, let's just say he was anonymous,
Yeah.
you'd drop him down a level and then you develop him and you take your time. So in any other world, Anthony Joshua should be having hard 10-rounders and learning fights, things that he needs to be able to beat an Usyk and beat a Fury. But it's not, he's been catapulted right back into that rematch because that's where the money is.
Yeah.
They only fight now once or twice a year anyway, so they don't have that time to develop as they should be doing. So,
Which is a shame because it's a fast, like a turnover, fast turnover. It seems like at the moment, if you lose, you're out. Unless
it's
you've got
as brutal
somebody,
as that, isn't it?
Oh,
Whereas,
it is.
if you up the unbeaten record, and that's part of the legacy of Floyd, isn't it? Whereas the zero is everything in boxing now, and I think you lose your marquee value. But that's not the case. I always think of on a personal level when, Anthony Crolla lost fights. He lost to a fighter I trained twice.
Yeah.
Crolla went on to be a world champion because he kept going back, kept going back, and developing, and then eventually got the right title at the right time, made a lot of money, and now we can say he's a world champion. And
and then we've got guys who, like Gary Sykes, who, for me, I remember him.
He was an underachiever, wasn't he?
With all due respect, he was. Because I remember him initially turning pro. Gary, 5-star Sykes, and he was a real talent.
Is that what they called him? Gary
5-star.
5-star Sykes. The name came up because we said he'd won all the titles, and the 5th star was going to be the world title. So obviously got.
Was that national titles? You mean?
Yeah, no, he won
amateur.
He won 3 national titles as an amateur, and obviously he won a British title as a pro, and then the world title would be like the 5-star. It was like
100%.
Like
and he was a
gimmick.
quality kid. I'll tell you, I didn't realise at the time. I knew that you was involved with him because there was you and Tate. And if we go back in history, my brother Ricky, initially when they turned pro. Did you remember that?
Yeah.
Ricky
Ricky
had Gary
had him.
Sykes
Yeah, he did,
for 2 fights or something like that.
He signed him.
Yeah, signed him. There was somebody else relevant who Ricky had, David Roach.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
Good
I'll
fighter,
lest we forget,
Had it
and you know what I mean? Good kid. But Gary Sykes, I really do think. What you've got to remember as well, Julia, those are the Yorkshire, the north-south divide as well.
Absolutely, it's from a small town called Dewsbury where nobody really gave a damn about him.
But they loved him.
Dewsbury loved him. It was a small community. And
I remember some.
2 civic receptions in Sykes in the town hall.
Do you remember when? Listen, he always brought a good crowd. Like, I don't know if it's made up of 90% alcoholics, but they did like a good drink. And
more than 90%.
Listen, they used to.
Dewsbury lot did.
Don't you remember, Paul? Dewsbury lot used to come to town hall. They had them at town hall. I don't know if they did Halifax and that and Dewsbury and that sports centre. Yeah. But he used to pack out the place and that, and it's a shame because a lot of the fighters from yesteryear, if they're not overly popular or they might have done something that makes people think, you know what I mean, they're forgotten. And in reality, people like Gary Sykes were the catalyst for people like Josh Warrington.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people need, and Josh always gives Gary Sykes credit.
He does.
Because he looks at him and he always remembers that, hang on, the engine.
And Josh always wanted to be where Gary was. And I remember Josh as a 15, 16-year-old amateur over at Lockie's gym sparring Sykes when I used to take Sykes over, that's how I met Sean. Yeah. And I remember Josh literally, just hard as nails, 16-year-old, I think he fought a good level as an amateur, did Josh. Never kind of flavour of the month with a GB setup, whatever. And he used to spar with Sykes, Tommy Coyle, Simir Monument, from all those guys, and Josh, even 16, 17, he used to look at Sykes and say, I want to be just like Sykes. And he was in the gym for a while. It was
remember the expression, "I have the tiger." That was in him. That was always in him. And you think, and when you see, I look at boxers and that, and bless you again. Excuse my language. I like to see a little bit of a twat in a boxer. I like to see that little bit of spite, just something, and little things like, if I go like that, I want it back. Like there's times when in the past where I'd go like that with Josh. We'd do it pads, and I'd go boom, and he'd go boom, and I'd go boom, and he'd go boom, and I'd go boom, boom, and I move. But when I come back, he'd go boom, and I think, yeah. And I'd always turn around and say, yeah, I like that. He'd say, what? I said, well, you hit me, I hit you. And if I hit you, you hit me. You know what I mean? And little things like that, you know what I mean? I like that. Anyway, what scandalous things do you want to talk about, Porky? Who do you want to defame?
I was going to ask you if you think Tony Bellew was going to come back and fight Jake Paul.
Well, if Tony Bellew comes back and gets the opportunity to fight Jake Paul, why not?
Yeah.
Good on him.
Paid,
you know why?
Fill your boots,
yeah, because I'll tell you what it is. If you had a chance to fight that little fella that you were scraffling about with outside, what's it called, Emperor or something. Go on. So if you go, hang on. If they turn around and says to you, we're going to give you 50 grand there, getting an exhibition, would you do it?
I don't need the 50.
Carry on. There you go. Go on. Let's get Porky on the spot. Anyway, go on. Anyway.
We didn't go to Nottingham to crack him, did we, Max? We went to scare him, and he never put a fucking video out since.
Poor lad. Porky, if you keep doing what you're doing, I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong.
You're a fucking company man.
I'm not a company man, I've got no fucking company.
I was threatening you to get you sat in front of me, yeah?
Say that again? Yeah. Listen.
You're definitely not political.
I'm not here.
No, you're not.
Are you having a shower with Max later? Because he's not going to be sweating in car, is he?
Max is alright.
Are you all getting a shower or what?
It's your car, Max. Yeah, it's my car, yeah. Sweating your car.
Sweat your own seats, you know what I mean? I'd say you won't be getting in mine.
Okay. It's not Volvo outside with caravan up back.
Well, I hope he's not on that fucking bike lane because there's a £30 fine.
I've got one.
Porky's ran off. He's like, I don't need 50 grand. But he won't pay us £30.
Oh, Max, you've not got a
Anyway, carry on. Listen, I'm going to leave you to talk to these two gentlemen because with me and my
The Django glasses.
activists, you wait. I'm going to tell you something now. I think to myself, you know them slave days called? They'd have had to chop my foot off because I'd have been rebelling. I'd have had to rebel. I'm telling you, fuck that.
I saw you on Sean Atwood, Nick. Good video.
Thank you very much.
I've not seen that.
Yeah, it's a good video.
Good, it is.
These are big.
He's alright.
Coverage of Sean.
He's alright. Listen,
I like Sean's stuff.
I like his stuff and that, but at the end of the day, don't get me wrong. The only reason why I did that, Colin, is because growing up in Leeds and growing up in the 70s and 80s, I was born in the 60s obviously, but growing up in the 70s and 80s, it was quite an experience. And multicultural.
Yeah.
Are you there? Is that alright?
Yeah, I'm just getting right. Yeah, I've got your good side in, Nicholas.
Looks like you're fucking zeroing in on me crutch.
No, fuck off.
Yeah, it's in the face.
No, it's Bob, mate.
I'm alright, look at the angle of that.
I'm not a fucking cameraman, am I?
It's all going up in it. It's
Hey,
going
keep this in. Thank you. No, Julian, the trophy's always good.
Yeah, put your fucking
Let's
heads
have a
in
little
there.
bit more.
Hang on a minute, I've got all. Hang on a minute.
Okay, this is the last one and I'm going to go.
Go on
Okay. Oh, two things. Two of them. You just mentioned Sean Atwood and that, and you know what it is. I was never any kind of gangster. I was never any kind of bad boy. He was a bit mischievous, like we all was as kids. But you know what it is. I didn't do anything. I'm not a rapist. I'm not a nonce. I'm not a kiddie fiddler. I've done nothing really wrong. My CRB is clear. So in reality, I'm in a position where I can turn around and say, listen. Although you do things wrong when you're younger, although you do things that put you in a certain situation, it's never too late to turn around and get yourself out of that situation, change your mindset and just get on with your life.
You know, back in the day and that, didn't you used to be a
What?
robber? Weren't you an armed robber or a...
Me? Are you stupid? No way, mate. I was just a little thief and that who just got caught because he was black and I was in the company of 20 white guys, one black guy, and I'm like, I want me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Simple. So
How come you
no,
ended up...
locked up because I was a shit crook. You know what I mean?
That's not meant,
yeah.
a shit robber.
Yeah, a shit crook. And at the end of the day, but I was smart enough to realise after a few times getting put away, I'm a crap crook. So you know what? Let's stop.
Yeah.
Let's stop. Because I'm not making no money out of it. You know what I mean? And only fools carry on doing the same thing. And I didn't want my life to go that way. And thankfully, I had a mature, sensible brother who came and said what he said. Remember?
Yeah, I do remember.
You know what I mean?
Durham.
Yeah.
That's when I came
Yeah. You know
All right then, well, before you go, I'm just...
one more thing.
Oh, go on then, go on then.
Sorry,
Top- go on
Julian,
then,
one
top
more
one.
thing. Gym etiquette. Now, if you go into a gymnasium and there happens to be a lady in modest attire, tight things.
Clothes, yeah.
Now, if you have to turn around and have a little look, you peep, don't you? Right, but there's some that they're laid and they'll come right in front of them and they're staring and
I was talking to her.
well, you're supposed to blink. You know what I mean? You're like that. I'm like that. All I saw
Talk to her eyes.
yeah, I just saw turkey. No, I just saw turkey teeth and no blinking, and I'm like that. But
She was doing sit-ups in front of me. I had to say hello.
she's in gym. You know, you're supposed to be in seating area. And I'll leave it there. Carry on, you guys. Max, it's been a pleasure. Carry on. All right.
Go, Max, you jump in middle. No, you stay there, Max. I'll jump in middle and I'll hold court. Right, now we've got with it 350 fun, we can get down to some proper business. What I'll do, I'll just pop a name up, a boxing name. It could be a manager, a promoter, or a fighter, and you just tell me what you think is going to happen to him in the next 6 months. Yeah. Dylan White.
Couple more big fights. He'll fight for the world title again at somewhere down the line, but he'll get beat.
Yeah, alright. Frank Warren.
Frank Warren. I like Frank Warren. Well, I don't know if he still likes me.
Has he ever threatened to cut your Jacobs off?
No, but either. Hey Nick,
Yeah.
did you have a bet with Warren? Was it
No,
Warren?
Barry Hearn.
Oh, was it Barry Hearn you had a
Yeah.
bet with? Oh,
A pound.
right. A pound.
No, pound note.
That's right, yeah.
What was the bet?
The bet was, because what had happened was, they'd matched up Colin to box Wayne Ellis in Cardiff.
Oh yeah.
Right, so when we've got down there, they didn't realise that Cardiff, my granddad lives there.
Yeah,
We've got his uncle's family down there, so we weren't even going down there as strangers. We had our crowd. So I'd seen Eddie Hearn and I'd gone, I think you made a mistake there, mate. He went, what? I think you made a mistake there. He went, what are you on about? Colin, you don't think that Wayne Ellis is going to beat him? And with all due respect, we've got a lot of respect for Wayne Ellis. He passed away in that
Yeah, it was a good
few
fighter.
years ago. Very good fighter, very talented fighter. Beat Neville Brown in the ABAs
That's
and
right.
everything.
Beat Neville Brown, yeah. It's a good win,
Beat
that,
him handily as well.
Charlie Watson.
No disrespect to Neville.
He knocked him out, didn't he? He stopped Neville.
There you go.
He stopped him, yeah.
That's handily.
That's
then.
Denzel's mate, and it not Denzel Figgy's mate. I don't know. Neville.
Who?
Say, were he heavyweight Neville Brown, light heavy?
No, you're on about Neville Mead or something like that.
Oh, Neville Mead.
Yeah,
Light middle,
from years ago.
middle,
Light middle,
yeah.
come up to middle. Quality kid.
My old gym mate, Charlie Watson,
Really?
did him in first round.
Fair enough.
Neville Brown did him
Fair enough.
as well. Yeah.
Talented kid, wasn't he? You know what I mean? What were we just on about then?
Not Wayne Ellis.
Headshots. Oh, Wayne Ellis, yeah.
Pound.
So I said to what's his name? Listen, you made a mistake here. You know, our kids are not easy. You're backing the wrong horse. All right, we'll see. So I'll bet you a pound. Yeah. I bet you a pound. I bet him a pound note, not pound coin, pound note back then. You know what I mean? Our Colin went out, knocked out Wayne Ellis, thankfully. I went and got me a pound.
Rough, buzzer.
Dropped Barry Hearn, yeah. And I think we was down at London, and he sent a message to you, didn't he? Do you remember? I got a video and he sent a message where I was down in London, and I've still got it on video somewhere, where I've gone and said hello to him and that there, and I said, oh, do you remember when I bet you that quid? He went, Colin, man, yeah. And he said something on video, yeah.
Remember Pam.
Yeah, Barry.
He gutted over quick with Basil, wasn't he?
But you know
Put
what
it
it
in a whiskey jar.
is? I'll tell you it is, we've had some really, really good memories along the way, you know what I mean? I'll tell you it is, the only
Win
thing
or
I,
lose, yeah.
yeah, do you know the only thing I regret, Colin, about it, is that we didn't take a little bit more control of our own careers and work together, because two boxing brothers who could bang in that, you know what I
We
mean?
both with Mickey Duff at the same time, yeah.
Well, Mickey Duff Mancini, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Danny
yeah.
Mancini had as well.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It was
Was
good.
that Norient corner for Ben McClellan?
Was Mancini?
He were in corner, wasn't he?
What with Nigel Benn?
Nigel Ben's corner, wasn't he?
I don't know.
He had
That's
that
it.
Kevin
Kevin Sanders.
Kevin Sanders
Kevin
and
Sanders,
Denny Mancini,
yeah.
didn't he?
I'll tell you what, Denny Mancini, one thing about him, I'll tell you what a cornerman.
Yeah.
You know what it is, he
Yeah.
instilled some confidence in you.
Quality.
as well.
Quality, yeah.
Well, look what he
Yeah.
did to Nigel Ben when he came back at the end of the first round, he was ready for collapse, and he said, see, I told you had him on drugs. It changed his
Psychological,
mindset,
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
it?
yeah. So, and you know for a fact that Nigel Benn should have been stopped that night.
He was down for what, with 28,
Yeah.
28
Yeah,
seconds or
yeah,
something like that
yeah.
round one. You only
Yeah.
had 20, aren't
Yeah,
you?
but fair play to him, if they'd have stopped that fight in that first round, that place would have gone up.
Oh, yeah, they were-
Everybody were there to see a good
Big Lenny
fight.
McLean were there,
Were
wasn't
they
he?
there as well?
Big
I
Lenny
don't
were
know.
there.
I
He's
don't
at end at ring when he goes over to him, doesn't he? He kisses him at end at
I've
fight.
not seen
know.
that.
I didn't realise that.
Yeah, he's
I
got
don't
gel
realise
back
that.
below cream hair, hasn't he? Have you seen that? Have you seen that?
I didn't realise
He
that.
kisses him at end, yeah, and he comes out. ring with him with the Essex lads.
No, I didn't. Oh, well, yeah, I don't
But
know.
Lenny kisses him at end.
I don't
Fair
know.
enough.
Ring, yeah.
I don't
Then
think.
that always it gets on edge at ring, doesn't it? With, what's he called him in the Essex Boys film? He was always
Carly.
drugged up. No,
Say it.
Pat Tate.
Craig Rolfe
Rolfe.
gets on side at ring, doesn't he?
Let me just say, Nicholas Manners, I don't associate or even know of any of these criminals or criminal activity. Nothing to do with me.
Nothing. We're all tax-paying casuals.
Fifth Amendment.
Right, and I'm going to ask you something, Mark. Adam Smith, what next for him?
Stays where he is,
Yeah.
probably.
You're a big Adam Smith fan, you aren't you?
No, I'm not.
You're always big in being up.
No, hang on. No. I don't think he's as bad as everyone makes out he is.
No.
No.
Alright.
He just says the odd stupid
I
thing.
mean, there's only 14 bodies in cellar instead of 28.
And he's handed his laptop, but
Right, what boxing's on this weekend, Max?
I don't know.
There's a good fight on this weekend, isn't there, Nick? Forgotten now, my memory's gone blank.
Cambosis here.
Cambosis Haney in
Haney.
Australia, yeah. My tip is Haney on points. What are you in for?
No, not a chance.
Max, you've never
Go
won
on,
a
Max.
bet
No,
yet.
no, go on, Max. What's your opinion on Haney and Cambosis and why? Logically.
Yeah.
I think Cambosis.
You get in there, so now I'll handle this.
Cambosis will just keep coming. He keeps down, he keeps coming,
Yeah.
coming, and I think Haney. It's just a fight too soon for Haney.
Really?
I think so.
Well, do you not think that if somebody's like boxing is like a bull and a matador,
Yeah.
and usually the bull just keeps coming, but at the end of it, the matador and the crowd eat steak. You know why? Because if you're too predictable, you just come in. Haney's a very, very clever man,
Yeah.
a very clever fighter. So what I turn around and say is, although I do think the fight's a lot closer, because it might just depend on if Cambosis comes in and gets a bit of success, and then can keep that. But good fighters adjust. And at the end of the day, who's to say that Haney?
man.
Pardon?
Betting man.
Betting on boxing? It's fool's game. You know what I mean?
Fiver.
No.
Max,
No.
never won a bet in your life.
No. Be nice, Pocky. You're alright, aren't you?
I'm pimping his arse, not you.
Alright, watch this then. Sometimes the smart boxer will beat the strong, relentless boxer. You know what I mean? So sometimes remember what Julian said to you? Sometimes you take a step back, move away, make a man miss. And when you start making a man miss, he realises that them shots that he's throwing are futile.
Yeah.
So the chances are he's
You
either
won't
going to
throw
throw
them
something. Yep, he's either going to throw something irregular for him, or he won't throw him again. You know what I mean? Sometimes you've got to tame the lion before you actually ride it. You know what I mean? Seriously. You know what I mean?
I think there was an element of Lopez against Cambosis. He got way too involved too early.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Lopez,
bad blood
yeah.
in that fight.
They just went to fight.
And he got caught, and he was saying like earlier that sometimes you get caught early and you never kind of get over
Yeah.
that shot.
Yeah.
And I think Lopez was the same. I think Lopez on another night
Would have beat him, yeah, should have beat him.
That's what I sort of was basing that
Getting,
on, yeah.
Yeah, you can't, no, because Lopez and things two different fighters. Lopez
He's
and
never
Haney's two
blown away
different
with
fighters.
Cambosis against Selby.
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't blown away. So
Yeah, it wasn't
I
a
think
convincing.
it's a good fight. I don't know what you think, Colin, in terms of that.
Would you say
I
it's
haven't been keeping up with
50-50?
it much
Have you not?
on that side. You know what
I'd say, you know something, I would say I'd like to say it's a 50-50 fight, but, but I'm going to go 55-45, and I'll tell you who I'm going to go with. Haney.
I go Haney on a level,
Yeah.
but
He's
those
never
judges,
wrong,
the judges, the home crowd, who's got the best interest in terms of. You've also got Haney, who's got the issue that is, his dad's not there,
Yeah.
his
Them little
father's not
things.
there. That can psychology that can impact as well. There's a lot of pieces and parts, but on a level, I think Haney's a better fighter than Cambosis.
But
It's
Cambosis
in
has got
Australia
the-
though, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
he's
what
got the
I'm
home
saying,
thing.
There's all that.
And if he's smart, if they are smart, what they will do is they will do everything they can with the gamesmanship
To unsettle him
to unsettle him. And if they can
100%.
do that, that's where he gets the chances. In Australia,
Your room's not ready yet.
Yeah.
So they try
yeah,
absolutely everything they can.
air conditioning's off,
Yeah, all that
heating's
kind of stuff.
up,
Noise
suction
on a
such,
night,
noise
keep
on a
you
night
awake
time.
at
And if they don't do that, I'd say they're missing a trick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because whatever, I like the old school call. I like the old school where you go in there and you psych them out and you turn around and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Little bits of kidology and all that business. It all works. We were brought up on a generation where you did that. You know what I mean? If the man's got nowadays,
Get any age you can, don't you?
nowadays if your opponent ain't got no water, you know what? You give him water, don't you? You get, you know, if a trainer comes in and says, "Oh, have you got any water?" You give him it. Back then, you'd be like, "Nope." Dehydrate.
We've got ice, thank you.
It is dehydrate. Oh, do you know what type of doctor's here? Nope, that's your job. You know, do you know where the doctor is? Yep, send him fucking miles away. You know, excuse my language. Carry on.
Well, it was when I was in Ireland. You know, when I was in Ireland, and for on the bill of, was it Eubanks and Collins?
Yeah.
Sure.
That was in Cork.
Yeah, in Cork. Yeah, that's right. And I was on the card, and I was fighting Sam Story, and I remember. Johnny, and there was, do you remember a trainer called Nobby Nobbs?
Yeah.
The journeyman, all
Yeah, that's right.
in the Midlands.
And they were winding up Story's camp and all that, like, and then all of a sudden they brought my name. Hey, listen, blah blah blah. And then they say, "Hey, that Colin man's going to shin that Story," and I'm like, you know.
You're bringing me into it, bro.
Keep it out of it.
And then it got them out, and they started going, well, we'll see about that. And I thought, and I go, "Johnny, what did you all say that for?" I said, we're unsettling them. And I thought,
Brings them onto your dig.
yeah. But the thing is, though, I lost some points.
Yeah.
But I cut Story in that. But I had so much respect for Story after he
fought Eubank, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Give him a.
I think he's in America now. I think.
I don't know, but there was one of them, an Irish kid who boxed him twice, and I think he beat Eubank the first time. I
Not
think they got
close.
a draw. Very close.
Very close, yeah. Eubank had some.
You've got fucking all air in that, haven't you? Come on, mate. You know what I mean? When are they going to pop through? Look, Porky, go on.
Fish taking
I
puppies.
ain't fucking right, I will take your teeth and all that. Fucking hell, you look like Ryland.
Who's Ryland?
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Just for everybody.
Ask your punters all
Are we
right.
on now?
Yeah, he won on before. I've just changed battery.
And we don't have Kent here. We don't have Rico here. But Terry. But who's the consensus top 3 fighters pound for pound?
It worked.
Yeah, I can
Let's
know.
have a consensus.
Usyk,
As of right now,
Spence, and Crawford, in my opinion.
Crawford before Spence.
And then you could put beat to beef, couldn't you? Tank Davis.
Yeah, it's a bit
You know who. And you know you've got 7 fighters there with Usyk that's all drug not been done for drugs. They're all KO men. They're all undefeated. So why shouldn't there be pay-per-view? I don't want to see Canelo there with defeats and dodgy decisions and
Hang on a minute.
drug
What
tests.
was this?
Pound for pound.
Right, that's not to do with it. Pound for pound.
Yeah, well, what about
Oh,
Canelo?
right,
yeah.
Canelo's not in my
Who
top
are the
7.
best fighters pound for pound?
Who's your-
Canelo's not in. He's been beat a few times, hasn't he? Right, handily, and he's had dodgy decisions, and he's a drug cheat. So why would I put him in my 7? But the other 7, for my opinion, pound for pound, you've got to be squeaky clean. All wins. You've got to be at least a decent puncher. You've got to have all skill set, not been done for drugs. Or what?
Do you think you've got to be unbeaten?
The unbeaten.
Yeah. Do you think
Yeah,
you've
I
got
think
to
you've
be-
got to be unbeaten. Yeah, 'cause
Well, what happens if you're like Lennox Lewis and you get beat
And you
by
come
somebody
back
and you come back and...
No, Lennox Lewis beat them. It's different because he corrected it, didn't he?
Well, that's what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Who's to say that they won't be corrected?
Well, has Canelo corrected it with Mayweather? Does he
No,
want
I'm
to
not
fight
about
with
him. I'm not on about him. I'm on about in general.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
I thought
yeah,
in
yeah.
general
I
had
think,
said...
I like to add balance, and I think Manny
Yeah.
Pacquiao at one point was pound for pound number 1. He'd been
Yeah.
And you
knocked
were
out 7
rematching them
times.
who beat him, wasn't he?
He got beat early on
Yeah.
when he was a bantamweight and things,
Yeah.
but
But in theory, you could say if Joshua beats Usyk, which I don't think he does, if he did, you could put him up there.
so let's have Max's top 3 pound for pound.
Check your Instagram, because you're a big lad, aren't you? You might
just
not
a
be
question.
fit.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's just one of them.
a
And
healthy
you can always
debate.
change your mind.
No one's right. No
Yeah.
one's right.
Max.
Fury, Usyk, the top 4, and it doesn't matter which order. Fury, Usyk, Spence, Crawford. They're just the top 4.
What about beat to beef? He's undefeated, he's not
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah,
I
fine.
like
don't think
biggest
he's got
puncher.
the name on his record for me to
No,
put him
you're
in.
not yet.
Oh, beat to
Not
beef,
yet.
no?
No, because he needs to be
why I didn't
unified, doesn't he?
I
Like,
got
if unify.
Fury
and then-
Yeah.
and Spence.
Who do you say, Cole?
Usyk, Fury, and Spence.
That's your
That's
Pound for pound?
Yeah,
I
that's
I don't think Usyk's proved himself yet.
Do you reckon so?
No.
Why not?
You know what? I think
undisputed Olympic champion, and now he's unified heavyweight. Come on, he just took Joshua out. Come on.
Yeah, fucking Joshua.
I
Jesus
don't
Christ.
have Usyk.
Oh,
We're on here.
I think you're good, Anthony. I think you're good, but you know what I mean. But I don't. You're scandalous, you. You know what I mean. But no,
You can't say that.
no. I love Anthony Joshua. I love everything he stands for. But I'll tell you what it is. I like boxing, and I'll tell you what it is. Watch this. Stay there.
Here we go.
Do you need to get back to work, Julie?
We ought to charge for this,
Bank
didn't we?
holiday, go see
I ought to charge you.
Do you
I'm off to see
believe
my
it?
missus at some point. But
Oh, Paul
That's-
Silky Jones.
That's a world class pound for pound heavyweight.
Absolutely. Jerry Cooney as well. I
I
love
like
it.
Jerry
We
Cooney.
got-
Jerry
we got
Cooney
He'd
would
be
have
a
been
world champion now, Jerry Cooney.
Oh,
wouldn't
did he
Yeah.
Foreman?
He was, yeah, he
Where's
was,
that Silky
he was
Jones
inactive.
picture?
He was, at his best, he fought Larry Holmes in 1982.
We'll nick that when we go.
I think you guys had 2 fights as well, you know. Silky Jones was a good fighter.
Paul Silky
Oh,
Jones,
Sheffield
Sheffield
Rainbow Bowl
WBO world
Do you remember that fight
champion.
he fought in
There you go, yeah.
with Luke?
Oh, I'll tell you a story about Paul
He's
Silky
from the
Jones.
same village as Kelly Pavlik, isn't he?
Youngstown, Ohio.
Yeah,
Is it
Youngstown,
Youngstown?
yeah,
Youngstown.
Oh, Rayman City, Boom Boom. Is that Boom Boom?
Yeah.
Yeah, Boom Boom.
Yeah. You want to see
Who's
the...
that? Yo.
That's me.
Oh, was that Rick?
That's Nick.
Nick.
I'll tell you a story.
Oh, your mate Carl Zaggy. You always have Carl Zaggy on, man.
Knock fuck out of me, didn't he? No shame in that. Now watch this. Many years ago, Paul Silky Jones. Paul Silky
He
Jones.
didn't get his belt, did he? They didn't give
No,
it, did they?
he didn't get his belt. So what
About
happened
20
was
years.
Nazim Hamid donated his belt to him because obviously every boxer has to have a what's it called, doesn't it? You know, you have your belt to show off.
Absolutely.
So Nazim,
The Warren Boxing Organisation.
he has to fucking.
Allegedly.
Right. So,
Well, it's a belt.
okay, that story there is so Naz gave Silky Jones that
yeah.
belt to parade and to hold on to. So
Would that fit Naz now?
it'll fit you now, wouldn't it?
It fit me, wouldn't it?
It might not a few months ago.
It might not 10 years ago.
But no. Anyway,
All
Silky
that for
Jones
that,
came to
man,
Leeds.
yeah. Unbelievable, isn't it?
And because I helped him out a little bit, he says to me, "Oh Nick, take that and sell it and get some funds for the gym."
Alright.
So I says, "Well, to say the truth, I couldn't do that because that's a legacy for your
Can't
children
sell-
and that.
can't
So
sell
you
that, mate."
take that back. I thank you." And then he told me the story that did you see what Porky?
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Porky, I thought you were a nationalist or royalist and that.
Why have I done wrong?
You've
like?
just fucking wiped it down with that.
Yeah, well, it's a ragging now. It's
You keep that in. You'll have all fucking everybody after you now.
you know what he's always trying to back to me on the piece.
No, but anyway, so he's done that.
really, mate.
That is beautiful. I'll tell you what it is. So in reality, that's been owned by Prince Nazim Hamid first and foremost. You can tell it's the original one by the buckle on the back and the weight of it.
Well, they never give Johnny Nelson his belt for 17 years, did they?
Well,
He
I
had a
didn't
great
realise
job
that.
getting it off him, didn't
I
he?
didn't realise that.
Yeah, 17 years.
17 years and he
Johnny Nelson, I feel sorry for
Thank
you
you.
about that. It's true, isn't it? Have you heard that?
I didn't realise. No, I didn't hear that. I've never
Johnny
heard of that one.
Nelson never got his belt. He beat that kid from Manchester,
Carl
didn't
Thompson.
he? And they were hell on Monday
Listen,
afterwards.
how can he not when
6 years,
when
wasn't
it's,
he,
what,
world
what are
champion?
we with Frank Warren?
Yeah, we're
Yeah, so I can't imagine Frank Warren not giving him his belt.
Well, I'll get it up on my phone here. Oh, you get your phone out, Max, while we've got camera on. Just pick Johnny Nelson, never got his belt for 17 years WBO. And we'll get the story up and I'll put old fucking Jack Regan straight over there. He's been trying to dig me out all day, hasn't he? Is it here, Max?
By the way, I've got Terence Crawford #1.
Yep.
I can't
Make it go back to
I can't not have Canelo in there because of achievements.
I like his
And,
bravery.
I think in your way he's got to be up there.
Yeah, they're the ones in your way. There's somebody
And,
else as
and
well.
I think Tank Davis is a
Tank is on his
fabulous
way.
fighter. He might not quite be there yet,
Yeah.
but I think he's
Let me tell you something
a
though.
brilliant fighter. He's brilliant.
The future. Shakur Stevenson.
He's I mean, he looks A-list, doesn't
Yeah,
he? I mean,
yeah.
he's
I just hope they don't.
I know
cherry
Josh at some
picking.
point was going to fight.
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
He moved up to super
Yeah, but he went
featherweight.
up to he avoided
Yeah.
Josh, didn't he? You know what I mean? So listen.
You get the right fights, and,
At the
and
right
Sean
time.
always says that.
Yeah.
You know, he's really very open about that. The right fights at the right time.
Yeah.
When you're we're talking about
When your
development.
fighter's ready.
When your fighters develop, that's when you take those fights.
Yeah, of course.
And
It's
not,
like-
and not before.
Answer me a
I
question,
can't
Junior.
find it. What's
What do
he
you
said?
reckon?
Johnny Nelson overcome shyness. I saw him on ringside saying he didn't get his belt 17 years.
Who wins then?
You know?
Canelo or Triple G?
Well, I thought Triple G won first too, to be honest, Nick.
Right. So who wins this one?
I think Canelo won
Why?
points because
Canelo. I
he's the
think
money
Canelo
in
stops
it.
him.
I think
Really
O'Cloughlin
hammering.
stops
I
him.
think he stops him. What you got to remember is Canelo's come from there, gone up to his light heavyweight and all that business taken some light heavyweight punches and that. Knows he's assured in what he can take. He'll come back down, and because of that loss to Bivol, is it Bivol?
Yeah.
What he'll do is solidify, come back down, confidence build, batter Triple G. And
Triple G physically does. He looks
he's not
old
there
now.
straight
doesn't
away.
he? You can see the
Yeah.
chest
And his
starts to
chest
drop.
sunken and that. And
Yeah,
then he's
Well, you think
You
it's
were going on
stopping
about
his
that,
feet
weren't
off?
you?
Yeah, the body
stopping on his
changes when you
feet,
get to the
accumulation of
fight.
punches.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
accumulation here, bap, 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 and referee will rest him.
He'll unload on him more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's 41 nearly now, isn't he? 40 odd, isn't he?
I
Now?
don't think you'll knock him out because you need a
No, yeah,
bat
but
to knock
accumulation.
him and go off him.
That's why I always like the Joe Calazaghe effect. At the end of the day, he had smart enough to know that not everybody's going to go with one. But I'll tell you what it is. The referee's got an obligation if he sees so many
You're not
punches.
defending yourself, it
yeah,
becomes one-sided. You
he'll
get
stop
him
it.
out of there.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a good fight, but
so I think Triple G gets stopped in his swan song.
What about Huey against Hunter?
Good fight. Good
It's a
fight.
good fight, isn't
You know,
it?
Huey.
Good fight.
Huey's a very, very, very experienced
he's
fighter.
crafty, isn't
Yeah,
he? He's,
yeah.
he does little.
He gets
subtle
loads of stick, doesn't he, Huey? But can he fight, Nick? You've seen
Yeah,
him,
you can
haven't
fight. Listen, I had Huey Fury coming down to Precise Accurate Training for I think it was about 3 years. You know what I mean? He used, when he was about 15, and he used to come, and I'd make him stand in front
When
of
his
that.
dad were abroad, this one, wasn't
Yeah, and I'd make him stand in front of that mirror before each session. I'd say, look Tommy Hearns in the eye, look him in the eye. You know what I mean? Right then. At the end of the day, you're long. You can use that jab. You don't have to, because with all due
levers.
respect,
Yeah.
you know what he used to do? He's got that gypsy fighting heart, that traveller fighting heart. No, use them long levers, man. Beat them from a distance. You know
It's
what
a
I mean?
discipline. You get
Yeah.
you get caught, you get stung. You don't always have to get that back.
No,
there.
you don't, no.
You just take your time, and some fighters sometimes they get stung and they're straight back in.
And you don't do that. Be patient. And the thing is, you can take a shot as well. Huey.
Yeah.
If you see the people, the calibre of the people that Huey's fought already, he's inches off a world champion. I thought he
he?
beat
Look at
Parker.
sparring he's had, man.
Yeah, I thought he beat Parker, you know.
He's yours.
Yeah. Although,
I'm honest, I don't ever think he'll
Yeah.
be a top 3 heavyweight in the world.
no, but I think he can win the world title.
Yeah.
He could
I
have
think he
pinched
lack-
that
he lacks
WBO
some-
belt, couldn't he, against
I think he
Parker?
lacks the explosiveness maybe and the spike that you need to be like the absolute best. But I think he's certainly world class.
I just took him to a therapist, me.
There's just something, isn't there, where he's
Yes,
just,
yeah,
he's
because he's a lovely kid and that, you know what I mean? And maybe
Yeah.
it's the younger sibling effect. Because I'll tell you, he's an hard act to follow. It's
ridiculous.
But listen,
yeah.
watch this. Think about it. Tyson Fury was exactly the same, you know, to a degree.
Fury,
And then he went
just
with this
become-
fella and he's gone,
Yeah,
I'm
Sugar Hill's done
explosive, yeah.
such a great
So
job, hasn't he?
maybe it's a
Only
matter
because
of
his
him-
legs have gone, I think.
well,
You don't see him bouncing on his toes the last 2
I
years.
because he's holding his feet, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I always
he's all
say
there.
that. I remember when he fought Wilder the second time, you know, he's put stuff on breakdowns on Facebook. And I said the second time he fought Wilder, I says, Fury will stop him. And people kind of
Same.
looked at me. And I
Same.
said, what people don't understand is like, I know Fury's a tall guy, but a long-armed puncher, you don't stay
Don't
away
stay
and
out
box
and-
a long-armed puncher.
No.
You go to him and get inside.
Yeah.
A short-arm puncher, a Tyson, you keep away and you pivot.
Like Bone Crusher Smith did when he fought Mike Tyson.
And
He
that's
kept him
exactly
at
what
like Bruno
Yeah.
should
So,
have been.
so
in,
Sugar
didn't he?
Hill was really, really
Bruno
clever.
let him come up close, didn't he?
So even though Fury got a bad decision the first time with Wilder, he fought the wrong fight. It was too many feints, not enough action.
He didn't make
The
that
second
mistake
time,
second time.
he got inside the long arms of the puncher.
Dealt with him.
That's where champions adapt, though, isn't it? Great champions.
Well, that's what Marvin Hagler
And
did
listen-
against Thomas Hearns, your
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Hagler he went to the puncher and he got inside the reach and inside the leverage. The last
Did he
place
actually do it, yeah?
the last place you want to be against Thomas Hearns is on the end of the
Yeah.
shot. Like Roberto Duran
Like
was.
when he did Duran in that
Yeah,
open
he's
air.
on the end of the shot, he's
Well,
devastated.
what was
that
it?
one.
Was it Schuler?
James Schuler.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Did he-
like
did he-
Al Schuler.
Yeah,
Passed
no,
away after,
Black
didn't
Rock.
he?
Yeah, not back
Was it not
Yeah,
Black Gold or Black Rock?
Yeah, black gold. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
do you remember that?
Flipping it.
Oh,
I know.
Tommy Hearns did a real classy thing, didn't he? He went to the funeral of James Schuler,
Yeah.
and the NABF belt that he won off Fuel that night in '86 in Vegas. He gave the belt to James and they buried James Schuler with the belt. Yeah. That's Thomas Hearns. That's the
Yeah.
I like to, you
Is
know,
that what Tommy Hearns did?
Thomas
Oh,
Hearns
that's
gave him the
brilliant,
belt back,
that, yeah.
even though he'd beaten him for the NABF belt. He gave
I
it
was
to
worried
James
for that fight. I can't remember for sure. I don't know if
Schuler
Schuler was
was-
22-0 or
Schuler was
16.
unbeaten, wasn't
Schuler was unbeaten, and he
Yeah.
just beat James Kinchin, who nobody.
Yeah, James the Heat Kinchin. Yeah,
and he
yeah,
was
yeah.
a good fighter. and-
James
yeah.
Kinchin was a good fighter because he ended up fighting Tommy Hearns as well. Hang on, did he fight Tommy Hearns or was it Marvin Hagler? James
Kinchin
the Heat
fought Thomas
Kinchin.
Hearns. He
Tommy
dropped- he
Hearns,
dropped Tommy,
yeah,
actually, and-
strong,
Yeah.
not honest with. I think he had Jerry Curl and all
That's
that.
right,
business,
he
yeah.
fought Rodan
Good
and
fighters.
Did he
yeah.
come over here, Kinchin, to fight somebody? Or was it? He did.
You're right.
What,
Who did it?
Michael Watson was it?
I think he, I mean,
No.
it was a real handful.
Well, you might be right because you usually are, but I don't know for sure. Strong, but them fighters were strong fighters, and what you got to remember is
Why you were just sort of nipping that.
just look at them. You know, if you look at them, I tell you what, sometimes.
He makes me watch Thomas Hearns all the time.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Thomas
Inside work,
Hearns,
Leonard, all of them. All the fat
People said that Thomas Hearns had probably the hardest right hand
He
in
couldn't
history.
even punch when he turned pro, could he?
But it was the setup of the shot. The setup was the shot was a brutal shot.
He's put into feet into position
It was
all the time.
brilliant.
You're
It
always
was-
ready to let it go.
Tommy would touch you on the chest.
And then
Watch how you react.
watch it. Thank you.
Yeah, wait for the reaction, and then you just step away. And that
Yeah.
setup I always said when he knocked out James Schuler in 61 seconds, it was boxing 101 for 61 seconds of boxing IQ perfection. The way he stepped outside the line and he threw the double left up to the body from outside the line. Then he touched him up, touched him down, and he tried him with the right hand first to watch the reaction, and then pop. And it was just like, that's how you set somebody up.
And my favourite,
Unbelievable.
my favourite Tommy Hearns KO, Robert
It was savage, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I love the
the atmosphere.
I love the Pepino Quayers one though, because when he beat Quayers, nobody wanted to touch Quayers. There was like a wrecking ball. It's like 15 defences of his WBA welterweight title.
It's sort of like when he hit Pepino and he
it was
went
weird, he
and
spasmed,
went
didn't it?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did,
yeah.
and he couldn't stop it. He just went bam.
And Pepino Quayers was actually a great fighter. So,
Well, he was
Thomas
defending that
Hearns
title
was-
for years and years, wasn't he? Something,
Yeah.
Pepino.
Who do you think then? Greatest middleweight ever?
All right.
Because he probably won't win the middleweight.
Colin.
But go on.
You got to look at Robinson. You got to look at Robinson.
I think Ray Robinson was the greatest fighter ever lived. I think his best work was at welterweight,
Yeah, yeah.
and I think the
You're
best
gonna
middleweight
say
of all
Monzon.
time, I think it was Carlos Monzon.
It was Monzon.
And then I think Adler was a very, very close second. And you can't,
always say Carlos Monzon.
you can't rule Bernard Hopkins out because look at the
longevity and
longevity of
yeah.
Bernard Hopkins. But Ray Robinson got beat several times at middleweight by some fighters who probably shouldn't have beaten him.
Yeah, that's
But
Yeah.
at welterweight, I mean, at one point it was
The English
81
fella
and
beat
1.
him. What's his name from
Oh,
Nottingham?
Randolph Turpin.
Yeah.
Britain's
Yeah.
Randolph
Yeah.
Turpin.
Well, that 10 rounder or will that probably will
It was the first one was a 10 round.
He's not from Nottingham, from,
Yes. Was it from that?
I've got a letter from someone who wrote a book about him. Do you
Randolph
remember?
Turpin.
I was my old art teacher when I went to art school.
It's not
called
Nottingham,
Mr.
it's
McAdam.
from Turpin.
He was in the Marines with
I've
him.
got a
Not
photo in
Marines.
my office, you know,
Yeah,
that black
yeah,
and white
yeah.
photo, the three
Forces with
brothers.
them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to Nottingham.
Joe Lewis.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Where are we from?
I've got a letter from Terry. You know the letter you sent me regarding, because he wrote the book. He wrote the book, didn't he? The author who sent me the
Yeah,
book, and
I've
I've
seen
got
it,
a
yeah.
thing, a black and white photo on my wall in office. With Turpin brothers, 3 of them, and Joe Lewis. I'm trying to think. Madison Square Garden. Is that where it's fought?
Come back to me where Randolph Turpin where was from.
I know you like him.
Yeah.
Hey, they were all good fighters. Turpin brothers.
And the greatest welterweight of all time is Ray Robinson.
Yeah.
And I think Ray Leonard was
Yeah.
a close
Yeah.
second. I think it would have been absolutely a great fight to watch.
Remember this call?
Hagler against Canelo. Hagler would have beat
Yeah,
Canelo.
of course
but
he did.
it would have beat Canelo. That would have been a great
He
fight.
was a decent fighter, that for the.
Jake LaMotta. Where'd you get that
Jake,
from?
yeah.
Yeah, you've got to keep the leads, isn't he?
When LaMotta came over years ago,
Yeah.
Sean was driving him around, wasn't he?
Yeah.
You guys were looking after him, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that Tony
I
Booth?
remember that, yeah.
Tony Booth. Say that again.
Did you have Tony Booth with us?
No, this is from the man himself.
Oh, Jake LaMotta.
Yeah.
They looked after him
Oh,
when he
yeah,
came
no, but
over.
he
yeah,
does memorabilia though, doesn't he?
No, that's the real thing. That's from
Oh.
back in
Oh,
was it, 80s or 90s.
How long you had this?
How long have I had that call? Had the glove card. Well, as long as it thing is.
You remember that one you did away on channel?
Holyfield.
Holyfield one was that lad,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah, I'll be giving nothing away.
I won't get. I'll never get rid of my
We
Ray
don't
Leonard and
yeah.
Larry Holmes ones. Never.
Are we going to get off, Mike?
Yeah.
Listen, thanks for having us. Just a bit of boxing chat, bit of banter with chat. Cup of coffee here at Nick Manners'. Couldn't even take us. Fucking Costa. Into Mecca's one.
The problem I tried to walk away from this spot. Colin.
No,
Bring you back in.
you do.
Oh,
It's just like it's never.
I just think if Striga were open, we'd be out tonight, wouldn't we?
As long as you're right with it, it's right with you.
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's just the organisation that helps. It's just that side of it. It's just the.
He's just asked me, that's a decent question. We all ask each other. He just says, who's the best or greatest fighter that you've ever been in? Now, that's not necessarily to box professionally.
No, just to spar. The greatest.
I'm gonna have to tell you that off the top of my head, the best fighter I've been able to share a ring with. He's got to, most talented. He's got to be Naz.
Yeah,
It's got to be Naz. It's got to be Naz. Training in Sheffield for
I
a couple
haven't
of years.
been in the company you guys had, but I sparred with James.
James Hay was very talented.
Couldn't hit him.
Oh, unbelievable, youngster.
Oh, he was a bit younger than me and he was a bit
Yeah.
lighter, but we used to spar. I
Yeah.
couldn't hit James.
Quality kid, that James Hay. You know what it is though. Tell you what, do you remember that period of time when James Hay got the Commonwealth or something like that?
Yeah, that's right. And then
you know
he
which was terrible. He had about 4 or 5 fights in succession.
burnt him out.
Yeah,
they
that
absolutely
kid
burnt
is
him
a
out.
quality kid is a world class kid.
He's a lovely
Give him
lad,
to-
was James.
lovely.
I saw him the first time he came to the gym, and he was just sparring. He's like
Yeah.
moving around and dancing like that, and you're like, "Okay, Scoop. You boxed before? Which club you from?" I was like, "I don't know. It was just the first time I've been in the gym. And he just had that natural rhythm, and it was brilliant." But James's problem was he boxed at welterweight. It was like the smallest welterweight in the world,
yeah.
bottom of the weight. But he wouldn't do what we're required to get down.
Yeah.
To like
Well, they were a lovely kid. I remember going over with, is it Chris Ashton?
Yeah, Chris is sound mate.
Went over with Chris Ashton and they were all boxing there. But to answer that question,
Nazi.
the best talent, the best person I've ever been in the boxing ring with, Nazim Hamid. Alongside the fastest person I've ever been in the ring with, Joe Calzaghe.
Yeah.
Very fast. You know what I mean? Blindingly fast. You know what I mean?
Joe Calzaghe, I'll debate with anybody. He's one of the greatest British boxers ever lived. He's for some reason he doesn't seem to get that.
No, because he's not jumping all over social media, running off his mouth. He's not slagging Tom, Dick and Harry off and that. He's not criticising people. He isn't followed by scandal. So when you get good role models like that, the general consensus of the knobheads out there who like all that shit, they turn around and go, he's boring.
And he's from Newport.
Yeah, he's from Newport.
Yeah.
But what they don't realise is that they should be looking at that and going, hang on a minute, if he can be from Newport and do all that, and I'm from here, the world should be my
The thing is with Calzaghe, people always try to discredit him. So Jeff Lacey was like the next best thing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Calzaghe schools him. Oh, Lacey wasn't that good.
Yeah.
But he was injured, and you never give him his credit.
The one fight that I always think should have been rematched, but very, very smart, was Robin Reid. I have to give him the jump there.
It was like that, wasn't it? It was like that.
The thing is, if the judges saw that Joe outscored him, but Joe's beat him, so move on.
And to be fair, Robin Reid was a really top fighter, but to be fair to Calzaghe, he was a bit off that night. He had a lot of hand trouble. He had massive hand trouble.
He had a point took off in Robin Reid in round 8 for a low blow that won.
Yeah. Well, whether it was or not.
It was a split decision, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But you can't compare them as fighters and careers, can you?
We used to spend a lot of time with them, Robin
Yeah,
Reid,
Robin
didn't we?
Reid, yeah.
Colin went over there and used
Just heavy-handed was Robin Reid.
What you've got to understand though, what you guys are missing here is that Robin Reid fought Sven Otke, Brian McGee, Carl Froch, Jeff Lacey. There's 4 undefeateds.
He fought absolutely everybody.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing.
The Grim Reaper
He
was
did-
quality.
he
He
did-
was WBC world champion, wasn't he?
He won that world
He,
title.
he beat Pretorius. What's his name? Pretorius. He fought him as well, didn't he? One of his.
Didn't he get done for doing his birding and being all legs?
No, not him. No, that.
Nardiello when he won the WBC.
He won the WBC.
Yeah.
Then he fought his first defence was against that middleweight Pretorius, wasn't it? Or whatever. However, you might be spelling it wrong.
Right.
And he was 60 odd and 2 or something, wasn't he? When Robin fought him.
Gold medalist in the Olympics.
Did Rob go abroad to win the title?
I can't think.
Did he go to Italy?
Yeah, Nardiello.
With,
He was
Pat Barrett as well.
He
He went over there.
European or something.
Yeah, he went over there.
Pat Barrett knocked out Ephraim Kalamas.
Did you see that knockout?
Savage.
Oh, friggin' it was a proper.
He's still thinking about that now. He's still surviving now.
Yeah,
like that.
Pat Barrett's left.
Pat Barrett put him into Mont Moon, didn't he? With one punch.
There was a thing of beauty he's left up, how he used to throw.
Oh.
It was so short.
Unbelievable. And he, boom,
Yeah.
and
You were like a tripod with his legs, like
yeah,
so.
them little legs and he
Timed
Yeah,
it,
he did, yeah.
timing.
I know.
timing beats timing, positioning beats everything.
And then he fought Manning Galloway for the world
Oh.
title, and he always right out.
You know what though?
He,
Yeah.
You know,
he never got going, did he?
You know what I always regret about that. Sorry for getting on and jumping in all the time. But Pat Barrett, do you remember? They left him too long waiting for a world title.
That's
Yeah.
right,
Do you know what I mean? When you've got, listen, I'll say it's
He went stale, didn't he? He went stale.
yeah, well when you've got there was a lot of, listen, the flavour of the month back then was blonde hair, blue eyes, mate.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, No.
Donny Lalonde.
Well, Donny Lalonde Canadian and that, but you know what? It's over here. If you had blonde hair, blue eyes, and this, that, and the other, and could sell it, listen, they'd push you forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No problem.
true, yeah.
And that's not being thinking. That's just how it was, marketing and that. You know what I mean? Mickey Duff.
times are very
Then what?
different.
You know what I mean? But now you've got an opportunity to have a character, personality, and go forward. You know what I mean? But back then, if you want of a certain demographic or certain whatever, you had to wait your turn. And I'll tell you something, if Pat Barrett had Pat Barrett could have fought better people, harder people than Manning Galloway and beat them. If they'd have let him use his momentum and use that, you know what I mean? But they just, it's like, remember,
It was on an undercard as well, wasn't it?
and you
just
go, hang
pushed
on
him on a
minute,
big
you
show.
know what I mean? So
Like-
to a degree, that's demoralising.
Yeah.
And that might, you know what I mean?
He should have had his own night, his own spotlight.
And then he could have
shouldn't
gone, right, this is for me, you know what I mean? And then
He still looks
regardless-
good though, doesn't he?
Oh, it's fantastic, it is.
Brilliant,
Like,
brilliant
potential,
shape.
you know what I mean? He's good at it, and I'm so glad for him. I'll tell you what, I'm
He's
so
a good
glad.
coach as well.
Yeah, he's old school.
Yeah, he's a
You know
good
what I mean?
coach.
Sex no bones and that. Tells them as it is. Listen, if you want to cry, just wipe your tears, get on with it. You know what I mean? But what I like about that is the fact that the independence that he showed, he made his own promotional company. He's turned around and struggled on.
Absolutely, he's his own man.
Yeah, his own man.
Be your own man.
When he's had to turn around and go up against the Warrens and that, he can go up and he can say what he wants. He doesn't have to come with cap in hand and that.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
I'm glad for him. And I wish him the very best. And I hope that the hierarchy and the establishment and all that business don't necessarily block people off because they object. You know what I mean? I hope they give him the opportunity based on him bringing fighters through.
I think he's working with a young lad who's from Wrexham.
Oh, the Asian kid. Yeah.
He's a good lad, isn't he?
Quite like him
I
as
know
well.
his dad's here, I've known him well, he's a good lad. Mate of mine, and he'll do right because he's got
Yeah.
that right style of
Right
teaching
grounding,
for that
yeah,
style
yeah,
of
yeah.
boxing.
Yeah.
And you should always get a coach, shouldn't you, who's got that style
Who's got
of
something
coaching.
for you.
That's got
Exactly,
something to
yeah.
you.
Not to like change you.
Yeah, exactly. I think
What about the other kid? There's a few kids. It's a shame. There's a few talented kids who's had to stop boxing because of brain discrepancies and all that business. But the thing is, sparring and training hard before you go for your brain scan can be detrimental.
It's not the done thing, is it?
Yeah, you might as well leave it a couple of weeks. If you know
Even
you've
longer
got,
than that.
yeah, longer, leave it a month. If you know you've got your thing next month, don't be doing naught to the head because half a shot can give not damage, but it can put something.
You can change it.
Yeah, it can change the change. It can actually
Neurological
change.
change.
Yeah, and it might not be a change that's long lasting, but if you're going to go to the head fella for your scans, and there's that little change based on the fact that you've sparred 2 days ago, and there's a little whatever, you're not going to box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a lot of coaches are now getting to the point where they say, listen, don't be head sparring and that. You're going for your
I was
medical
never
next
big on
month.
sparring anyway. I tried to keep it to not an absolute minimum, but
Yeah.
I didn't fight sparring.
They don't have to kill each other, do they?
I always say, look, if you're doing a 4-rounder, it's a journeyman. No disrespect to him, he does there to survive. These guys saying, I've done 100 rounds sparring for this fight, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Is it relevant? Is it
It's
necessary?
insane.
You know what I mean?
3 or 4 technical spars and
Yeah.
one hard spar.
Yeah.
Well, just to let you know that you're there and that, and your
Yeah,
body's strong and
absolutely.
ready to go. Listen, I don't go to no guru. I don't go and say I'm any kind of boxing guru, because in reality, what I know is what I know, and what I'm.
We all know a little bit, and we're not,
And like I say, you've come down, you brought your heavyweight down, you've given Little Torrance some rounds and that, and I'm really appreciative of that because.
We appreciate you inviting us over.
Yeah, no, listen, anytime.
Anytime.
Listen, anytime. All you have to do, just make sure Porky don't come perving on my clients and that. You know what I mean?
The fucking ball breakers, aren't they?
Fantastic. I'll tell you what, you got
To
a
be
beautiful
fair-
smile and that. Good looking, look at that. Fucking hell. That's why I've got my shades
My
on.
missus won't be watching this, but to be fair, she's a good looking woman, mate. So.
Well, I don't look at them, me. You know what I mean? I just.
It's yours. But she was.
I just collect the dollar.
Right, thanks for having us.
You're
Peace
welcome,
out.
Porky. I love you, man.
Right then, Max. Back to South Yorkshire. What did you think today to Nick Mannor's gym and the laugh we've just had?
Yeah, it was good. It's a good experience. He had a good lad who's, I think he's prepping to go in the ABA.
Not motorway, Max.
Oh, right.
Not motorway.
You think he's going in, prepping him to go in the ABAs. He's having his first fight. And to be fair, the lad's game, he's good for me. You know what I mean, I'll definitely go back and spar him again.
Could he whack?
Yeah, he's not the biggest whacker, but it's the flurries and the pace. I like the pace, and that's what I need. Like, I'm in too many, like, I have slow heavyweights I go against, and you can see, you can dictate the pace. I need that, and that's something more I need, you know. But I just didn't use my jab enough today, and obviously, end of second round, I started to fall off a cliff a little bit. You saw that yourself, so.
Yeah.
So it's work needs to be done, but it's not.
Well, you've had 6 rounds today, Max sparring and 3 on pads.
Yeah.
What happened with that ab workout, Max?
Fucking horrible, that. Do you know what it is? Those lads, those 15-year-old lads, fucking had 150 punches thrown at me in the stomach. They're still tender from Tuesday. So it wouldn't have been as bad if I didn't have that. Fucking hell.
Max, are you putting anybody on notice in heavyweight division?
Will be soon.
You will be soon. Who are you putting on notice?
But Perry Howie don't want it.
Perry Howe?
He doesn't want it.
Perry Howe, you shithouse. Grow a pair of balls and fight Max.
A couple of learning fights. Jay McFarlane's a possibility.
Jay McFarlane, yeah?
Yeah, possibility. But I don't want to do it on Fight Zone, not a chance.
Is that Scottish kid who used to live at Dave Allen's?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he lived at Dave Allen's. They all used to play Scrabble at night.
But yeah, I mean, but I'm not fighting on Fight Zone, definitely not.
No.
So.
Oh, interesting.
So there's a few little corkers out there. It's just biding my time. It's the right time. Julian knows what he's doing with me. You know, so it was good for him to see. So.
Okay. Well, listen. I hope you've all enjoyed the video. Just a day out, just a bit of fun. As you can see, I'm the best cameraman in the world. Max has took his licks today. He's had his ab workout. We've had a bit of banter.
What was your personal opinion? Like, you give me shit, right? But what is your personal opinion? Honestly,
Max, you can't box fucking eggs.
Oh, fuck off. What did you just say off camera?
Right, Max, right. Max deserves credit for getting in there. He's got a ramrod jab, but if he's not going to be fit, if you're not going to be fit, and there's no petrol in the tank to throw the punches, is there?
No, what did you say? What did you say before?
I said to you that you're not fit. You need to sack all this pads and heavy bags and sparring, and just train everyday cardio, and not get down to 16 and a half.
Right. Then what else did you say? the ability was there.
You've got a bit of ability, Max. Yeah. I mean, you've played pro rugby. You've got a bit of ability. There's something to work with, but you're 34. You're getting knocked about by 17-year-old small men because you're not fit.
Yeah.
When you were clipping him with a jab, he didn't want to know.
Yeah.
But once you started blowing, you know what I mean? I've just took you through there, Max. You've showed me up.
Fuck off. Fucking silly bastard. Full of shit, isn't you? Fucking have to add it on, don't you?
You didn't fucking show me up, Max. Come on. Fucking you got flogged. Oh, your face is all swollen.
Nah, I didn't get flogged.
I only want to knock about with people that don't get hit, Max.
Just right, you fucking camera can cut that fucking shit out. You're going to be paying him double time.
Right, that's it now. So listen, I hope you've all enjoyed the video. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as Max has. The art of a breadcrumb. Women love him, men want to be him, don't they, Max? It's that animal t-shirt I give it. He wrung it out like Robin Reed, you know. Look at you, Max. You've loved it, haven't you? Was it in your bag?
Yeah, it's in my bag.
What you got on now?
Just a Lonsdale.
You might as well put fucking Golden or high-tech on. Alright, peace out. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. Big shout out to Frank from Bury.
Give me just one example. You give me one example of where you haven't walked forward and outworked someone. You just give me one fight where you haven't done that. Not one. I've shown a range of different different styles.
You've shown one style. in your
Commonwealth,
career.
British, European,
And you've done it all with one style.
Fair play to you. Fair play to you. You've done it all with one style. You've got to look at where you've fought for every single title that's been vacant. You've never defeated a champion. Never. Never defeated the champion.
I defeated you.
Never did. I wasn't a champion. I was a 16-fight novice. It wasn't hard to beat me. Over Mackenzie, didn't beat me. Over Mackenzie, didn't beat me 2.